And the clocks have struck zero. We have a 15-8 lead for the Denver Broncos on the road against the mighty Buffalo Bills. Weird game. Weird a lot of
Weird game,
things. Weird a lot
yes.
of things here. We were
I have takes. I
joking
have some
off air.
takes.
If the second half is scoreless, we will be in scoregami territory, as there have been no recorded 15-8 games. I think that's probably unlikely. In fact, I kind of want to make a case for an over here because it really feels like the Broncos defense is leaking some serious oil. I don't know if that means we should just play Buffalo or we want the Broncos defense, but I feel like the Broncos could score on a third consecutive drive, Andy. You know how they score right into halftime and they get the ball first? They could score again, and I still feel like
Another
the Bills
field
are going to
goal.
find a way to get this win. Hat tip to Mr. Noops. Everybody loves Mr. Noops because he can see the future. And one of these points, he should just mix in some losers so people don't really know that he has the almanac. But that's okay. Great first touchdown.
Yeah, I wonder if Biff did any cover play in the alternate timeline in Back to the Future too. Do you think he just like picked? He seems like a big enough idiot where he just picked like 90 straight horses correctly. Like,
Exactly.
oh, I don't know how I'm doing it.
I got it again. Yeah. But that's you know what?
To be
Actually,
fair,
in a pari-mutuel pool, yeah,
you
can't. Yeah, and not only are you not cheating anyone, but at some point you can't really make money on that, right? Because
Yeah,
like if you're trying to make all the money, but you're betting into these tiny pools.
This is how little we want to talk.
Anyway,
so I understand benching Cook after a fumble. I don't know if I'd have benched him that long, and I don't know if I'd have used Latavius Murray that much. That seemed like a bit of an issue. It's only his second career fumble. Like, take it easy on the guy a little. I was not excited to, I have an over. I took a small bet on the over this morning there was some steam down off the 47.5.
yeah.
It was 47 before lunch. I took some of that. There was some late Bills steam. There's some places up 8, even higher than that.
Yeah, I assume that was just the market fading my opinion because that's kind of the way the entire card went for me this week.
It's like when everybody finally got to the end of the podcast and they heard you say
like,
that,
oh,
hey,
shit.
Drew
he lost every bet, and he said he bet the Broncos. Let's bet the Bills.
We are kind of hot at I think we have 3 in a row at halftime.
Hey, why you got
two unders? Because I don't give a shit. I don't believe in it.
Okay. What is your read here? Because it is officially a 7-point margin right now. That doesn't feel like enough.
No.
Although the Broncos get the ball first and Russell Wilson's had some moments of magic, he does not really seem interested in trying to attack down the field unless he has a guy with a 15-foot radius of separation all the way around him. Then he throws him the ball. Like, has he done any other targeting?
That toss to Sutton was nice. Yeah. I do talk about no hitters. I don't believe in any sort of superstitions at all. I mean, yeah, I took a pregame over. I'm ready to chase. Put more on it.
Okay, you want 23.5?
Not only that, but I have an over 40.5. Once it got kind of squirrely in the first quarter. Did some live betting. I believe in the Broncos, and if they push the ball downfield, this is a obliterated secondary. This is a linebacking core that's still no Milano. They are getting a little bit of pressure, but let's go with this over.
Yeah,
I think anything you get out of this Broncos offense is just going to be so much gravy because the Bills did move the ball nice on that one drive. Obviously, the one scoring drive for them.
Do you think we've seen the last of the Bills turnovers with a 3-0 margin so far? Is
I think we get one more. Okay. Josh Allen, I mean, he essentially threw another pick. The linebacker just couldn't catch it clean and get his toes in bounds. And Jesus Christ, Sutton. Like,
wow.
I don't know if we can top that kind of toe drag swag. That was pretty wild because in real time it looked like a throwaway, and then it's like, oh, he caught it, but he's clearly out. And then they show it. It's like, motherfucker, those feet are in. George Pickens would have been in the front row of the stands.
Have we really played 3 straight second half unders and they all came through?
No, we went under.
We had Vegas. Yeah, Raiders. Yeah. Although under was good last night too, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was
second half unders must be on like a 10-2 run.
What was that? 17.5 last night?
It was a bigger number than they scored, I think.
Yeah, well,
Which means they went under.
the game ended 16-12. I mean, I think we had
12
we
points
only
at
had
halftime?
13 second half
13,
points. There's no
okay.
chance it was less than that.
Okay. Yeah, this has already been steamed up to 24.5, although that's now plus 105.
I have a flat 24
also
here.
seven.
Sports
So basically, both sides we had an appetite for are there's a premium on Chris, which I get it. Are there any other fun live markets here? Because I mean, I'll be honest, I have. Okay, so 7 is basically the tie pushes, which isn't happening. So if this goes to overtime, Bills are going to be what 65-70% chance to win.
Yeah.
So I don't mind 7 for the Bills.
Denver was moving the ball.
23.5.
Denver was moving the ball a little quicker at times. They would get to the line with like 22 on the play clock, and then they'd call a different play, and then it'd be a 2-yard run anyway. So it was a little bit of, I got excited about some of the pace, but both teams are moving the ball when they're throwing it, for Christ's sake. Did you see that? I don't know if you're in that chat. Did you see that graphic about Zach Wilson?
Oh yeah, 5 touchdowns, and Dobbs has 5 for the
5 as a Viking.
Yeah. Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, we pull our lines from FanDuel. It's the official sportsbook sponsor of the deep dive. No, I very rarely can bet it because I'm not in a legal state, but you should be able to find a 24 if you hunt around. The biggest piece of advice, and so many of you guys are very smart bettors, smarter than us even, but the biggest advice ever would be just get yourself 25 different outs. Like,
no doubt.
That's like, you're going to improve your ROI by like 5% by, just, it doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a lot. By just having a shitload of outs.
Any injuries of note here? Looked like number 6 PJ Locke, strong safety for the Broncos, he headed to the tunnel early. We have not seen Mr. DeMar Hamlin yet. Questions swirling whether we will see him in this game or whether he'll be an active non-participant.
I'm sure he's played some. So the last time he dressed,
special teams.
Yeah, the last time he dressed, he played like kickoff and kickoff coverage. I'm guessing that's the similar role. I haven't actually confirmed, but he did have to go in on that because of their, the lack of depth they had at safety and corner. It's been an issue again. Yeah, what do you think the price is on Allen to throw another pick? Anybody with the legal book, please. I'd love to hear what the price is for him.
I think a fair price for Allen for another pick or another turnover. Pick only.
Another interception. Has to be an interception. You only have a half a ball. Half a ball game's like plus
135. Yeah,
it's only 30 minutes.
They're in comeback mode though, so he's going to have 22 pass attempts in the second half ish.
I'm looking up player props right now.
He'll probably have 22 pass attempts in the second half. I mean, that's one of the reasons I like the second half over, by the way. I mean, I don't think we're going to see a lot of Bills rushing.
Oh my gosh. It is only plus 105.
Yeah.
At Bovada Bodog. Jesus Christ.
Oof.
That is not a vote of confidence. There's only 30 minutes of ball game, guys. I guess he's thrown pretty much 3.
Dalton Kincaid's he's been out there a lot tonight. He's been on the field for 25 of 28 snaps so far, apparently. James Cook basically lost his job to Latavius Murray, I guess. 20 snaps for Murray, 7 for James Cook.
Cook got back in after a couple, and he looked good on that drive.
Yeah.
So yeah. Reed talked me into some Kincaid props, so I have a Kincaid over 5.5. I think he needs 3 more.
Going to see a lot of touches for Javonte Williams in the second half. He's already gotten 24 snaps tonight. I feel like he's gotten 14 carries, something like that. I know they are really working hard on getting him.
I know you're not probably interested in this,
12.
But
yeah, go ahead.
There's a decent sized middle. If you have Broncos plus 7.5, you get the best of the number 7.5, 8. It depends how you feel about the second half.
Shoot for the middle. I'm going to wait until the Broncos. Middle. I'm going to wait and hope the Broncos score some points just because the Bills defense is not offering a ton of resistance in the middle of the field, at least. think the Broncos can come down and score a field goal, and then I think that's when you press play on Bills. But
this is a good point from Mr. Hector too. You do see in these comeback modes in the second halves.
Oh yeah, a lot more
you do
designed
see
runs from Allen.
Suddenly Allen starts running a lot more.
Yeah,
we saw that last time out where it's like, oh shit,
Yep.
he's just scrambling. He is a very dangerous scrambler. So
every play is basically in his hands. That's what you wanted if you're the Bills.
Yeah. Kind of prediction for me is Bills win. Don't cover the pregame number. Like Bills by 3 kind of thing.
Josh Allen with one rush attempt for 1 yard so far tonight. So not exactly part of plan A to win on the ground with Mr. Josh Allen.
It was not a well drawn up play. Like he just kind of ran into the back of the tackle.
Hey, can I ask you your opinion on Allen and his performance tonight and just in general? What you've seen
since the shoulder?
So this is
him because he's throwing it hard as fuck.
Throwing it so hard. That's exactly what I was going to get at. Like the velocity on these balls are noticeable.
Are you suggesting a rookie of the year situation?
I was thinking he's probably trying to overcompensate. Like he's trying to make up for some lack of touch by throwing it especially hard. You think that's something going on? Like, because clearly, like, he's like, I'm just going to, there's a reason he's throwing it harder than we're used to seeing him throw it. And I'm not sure what that is.
Oh, God.
Oh, did Ryder?
We got breaking news in the chat.
It's, hey, Brinks, this one's for you. Bronx country, let's Ryder. Yes. Bronx country, let's Ryder. I haven't been following. I'm assuming they covered. Did they win? Did they beat Nebraska?
I don't know. It was a fun game in the Palestra. We had a Philly on Philly action. Penn beat Nova. I'm sure they were sizable underdogs there. And
Houston ends up winning by 31 after all. Wow. Amazing.
Yeah.
Nebraska.
My favorite is all the St. John's hype, and then St. John's loses by like 40 points.
If you had plus 16 with the Bronx, you are a rider and you are a winner. Yeah.
Rider.
Yeah.
Philly and near Philly. Yeah, Nova's not really in city limits. Penn definitely is. What's the name for that? Just like the Philly 5. Like the ones that are all in there.
Yeah, I think that is it, right? They do like the little round robin tournament.
This was Reed saying, where do you rank Allen and Herbert in your QB rankings?
Philadelphia Big Five.
It's hard.
Okay, wait a second. Let's talk about this for real. Where do we rank Allen and Herbert in the quarterback rankings these days?
And where do you rank them relative to CJ Stroud?
I think Allen is still pretty obviously the number 2 off the board after Mahomes. And I think Herbert's probably number 4, maybe number 5 after Burrow.
Mahomes, what do you think? Allen, Burrow, Herbs, Hurt, Dobbs, Stroud.
Lamar, yeah.
Lamar's up in there. It's kind of messy. Like every week there's a case for everyone besides Herbert to be number 2 or 3. Yeah. Like the next 8 guys. Yeah. So like then Tua and Kirk are right there as well. Obviously Kirk is injured, but that guy was going to throw for 5.
If I get Hill and McDaniel with Tua, I'll take Tua above some of those guys. Yeah, but right now Tua is probably 7 or 8. That'd be my read. He's after. I guess your discussion point is: do I want Lamar or Trevor Lawrence or Tua? And I probably would take 2 1/3 of those guys.
Good question for you, Ben Verone. Yeah, I'm there as well. But obviously Tua in the current situation is a lot more of an upgrade. How do you take away from how Kyler looked? Kyler looked fast, which is good because it means he trusts the knee and the knee is feeling good. And his arm looked pretty fine. Like that one throw that was dropped in the end zone, that was kind of a goddamn dime. He looks good. He doesn't have very many good pieces around him. It's going to make it tougher to evaluate. But at the same time, he still did a really good job avoiding the rush. He was very mobile when he needed to be. He made some throws on the run. He ran a little bit. Like he looked fine. I think he's going to be good. DeVito is. Do you have anyone
32nd? Yeah.
I mean, lower than that because we've had so many other.
Well, no, I
kids
mean, of the
but-
current 32 starters, if you're redrafting him right now, he's 32, I would say.
Yeah.
You're probably taking Ritter over him. Yes. You're taking
Fucking
Bryce
take Ritter
Young.
and Heineke.
You're taking Bryce Young over him. Oof.
Taking C Dubs.
Yeah, absolutely. You're taking Zach Wilson. Yeah, that's Z-Dubs. You're taking Zach Wilson over him. I guess you are. Kenny Pickett. Yeah. Jordan Love. Yeah.
Pickett's a weird situation. That was a question too.
Does Teabag count, or are we are drafting Fields?
Lipscomb asked that in the Discord the other day. He said, rank last year's rookie class for quarterbacks. And honestly, it's like Purdy and Howell and
yeah, Pickett. That's third.
Pickett, and
by
it's a hard drop off after that. You're in like Matt Corral,
Desmond Ritter,
Skylar Thompson,
Malik Willis,
Olajuwon, or whatever,
Zappy.
the guy from South Dakota State.
Does Zappy count in the draft, or is it Mac Jones?
It's crazy. Like if we had gotten, let's say,
I'm taking Badgen over DeVito for sure. I'm taking Mac Jones and Zappy too, probably.
But Matt, and say what you want. Let's set aside the Purdy argument on whether he's a system quarterback and it's all Shanahan or whatever. Put it all aside. Let's pretend we don't get the injuries and he never sees the field. Like Howell right. Probably like it's Howell and Pickett, and it's a crazy all-time bad quarter. I mean, it's already a pretty bad all-time quarterback class.
Yeah, but, it's pretty bad.
Good job, 3rd and 20.
Yeah.
Strong start here.
Is it 3rd and 20 or 2nd and 20? Because I'm incomplete on 2nd down. You might be a play ahead of me.
I think so. I'm looking at the scorebug now.
Yeah.
Clayton Tune. Clayton Tune he's a rookie this year, right? Yeah, Clayton Tune was in this draft. So was
Teabag and
who's the
Bryce
old
Young.
Man that went to the Rams that he got injured right off the bat from Georgia?
Boy.
Why can't I think of his name? He won multiple national titles. Stetson Bennett the fourth.
Stetson Bennett. Yeah,
he's technically in this rookie class this year.
Yeah, he's actually, I think, out of football for personal reasons.
I thought he just went on the IR for like a long time.
No, I think he's having a tough time adjusting to being an adult, and that's what happens when you name your kid Stetson Bennett the fourth. I will tell you the interesting question about quarterback drafting.
You went to Duke. You probably knew multiple friends named Stetson.
I know some Stetson Bennett the fourths, and that's why I can make that joke.
Fair. Okay. That's fair.
So the interesting question about the draft.
Yeah, Stafford went to Georgia. That's the guy I'm talking about.
Yeah. Do you take CJ Stroud over that cluster of Lamar, Lawrence, Tua, and
just too much unknown yet.
Like,
it's been good, but like if we're talking like dynasty football, whatever, yeah, like I'm excited about that. But I don't know. It's tough.
Yeah.
It's such a small sample. We've seen guys come in, look good, and then flame out. He seems to have it though. We keep talking about this.
Sure.
This intangible like confidence, bravado, just like that. Doesn't have that fear.
I think you would say it pretty conclusively that of the NFC South quarterbacks, you take Baker Mayfield first, right?
Yeah, I dogged on him a little early in the season because I looked at who he played and it was just like, man, I don't know if I can give him a ton of credit, but
God, dude,
Baker hasn't been losing them games. Like he hasn't been doing the, hey, I'm just a rich man's Carson Wentz at this point. No. Where I'm going to make some big plays, but I'm going to make some big bonehead plays too. It hasn't been great, but I don't know. Like Baker's been fine.
The Scoregami's live, and they got Jordan Poyer spying Russell Wilson at long last. That took a little too long. It's okay. McDermott's making adjustments. I think this is going to get a little weird here. Oh man, the ref's not doing us a lick of favors.
They're trying to get the Bills back in the game. Bills scoring this drive. Bills, I'm calling my shot here.
Holding on defense.
The Bills will get a DPI on this next drive.
The live market has this at Bills money line minus 140. How about that?
Oh, here's a good. We should just keep doing
Bills
quarterback.
pick.
These are fun. Who's your first pick? And again, it's so hard. We need to choose the rules on this. Like, are we talking for this year?
No, we're
Game
building.
right
You're
now,
building.
or we're building a franchise moving forward.
Yeah.
Hurts. So you got Hurts, Dakota Rain. I mean, let's throw a healthy Daniel Jones in there or Howell.
Yeah. I think that's the order.
I'm taking Dak.
Over Hurts? Wow.
Yeah, it's very close. But
interesting.
Oof. And I just dogged on the guy a bunch for not being a gamer in the Philly game, but he's a better quarterback.
My numbers are pretty high on Hurts.
Flip Hurts and Dak in their situations though.
I
put him with a better coaching staff.
I have very low confidence in Dak executing the push.
Yeah, no,
you take the most important play out of the most important play out of the Eagles offense. Yeah.
No, but I think he's a winner in a better situation because he's so good at times.
Dak is having a great year, but you know what? Wish he hadn't stepped out of bounds on that 2-point conversion.
That was really just a fucking bone game. The end
really
of that game
sucked.
That burns my ass. The end of that game.
Yeah, I really just wish he had gotten a touchdown at the end of that game, and then I would have easily taken him over Hurts. His recency bias washes over me. No, I think Hurts has a higher ceiling in the next 3 years. I think you know what Dak is. I think Dak's ability to perform in the playoffs and the high leverage moments is never going to be a question that's answered satisfactorily until he does what Hurts did in the Super Bowl last year. Right? Yeah. I mean, that particular performance to me puts Hurts in sort of rare air of what he can be for you to win a championship. He was amazing. Yeah.
He was so good. Honestly, the whole playoff stretch. The whole stretch of the playoffs. If the Vikings go 4-3 down the stretch, which I looked, it's not out of the realm of possibilities. Let's say they don't win the division, but they go in as like the 5 or 6 seed. And it's a lot of it. It's very evident it's Dobbs. Is that do you just give him comeback player of the year because it's such a good story? It's been a lot. Like he's not coming back from anything, but in my head, I can't stop thinking about it because the precedent was set. He come back from sucking on other teams and being the backup, and like the NFL already changed their like official Twitter banner to a picture of him. You see the one Vikings fan? He was so pumped he just shaved off his eyebrows.
Yeah, you know what? This is a good point. Dobbs, he's coming back from the perils of alopecia. And
I can only think of
not a strong like impact on his football performances, but he's coming back. He's coming back. I will say that I still think a comeback player of the year is a wrap. I don't think we're inviting DeMar Hamlin to the award ceremony and then handing the award to anyone else. That's my opinion.
It'd be funnier.
It would be funnier, but I don't think it's going to happen. And I think Hamlin, again, realistically, he might make some meaningful snaps for this Bills team that's missing everyone. So we'll see.
What if? And here's the other situation. What if he does have to play eventually? Like he has to go in at safety because they're just down so many pieces.
Yeah, you go for this fourth
and he just gets roasted.
Oh wow! How about that, dude?
We're only 3.5. We're only 3.5 into the game, and we got a team at midfield. So, despite the fact that we've had 2 failed drives, I'm not feeling horrible about this over still.
No, but I guess I'm just a little unclear as to
live totals 46.
Yeah, he had Shakir wide open on that and airmailed him because he doesn't have touch on his soft passes. He only knows how to throw it extremely hard.
You know who I feel absolutely horrible for too, because I do think the Vikings win like 9 games.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's some wins on that schedule for sure. Although man, they are beat up. They had to sign Anthony Barr today. The people who went into the offseason thinking like this is the luckiest team in the world. Not much has changed. The win total is going to be too high. I'm going to take under 8.5. And if you told those people Cousins doesn't play the last half of the season, Jefferson misses at least 5 games, and like all this happens, I think they probably double or triple their bets.
Mm-hmm.
And those poor son of bitches are going to lose.
Mm-hmm. This is a tougher one, man. This is a tougher question. I think Parsons is probably the right answer.
Yeah, it's probably a
maybe
versatile,
Jamar Chase
or it's a versatile defender, or like the youngest of the top 5 offensive tackles.
No, because you're gonna have to pay those guys.
You have to pay them. Well, you have to pay everybody now. But
yeah, I know, but like at Parsons, at least is this year 3? You get 2 more years cost control with him. You get 2 more years cost control.
I don't know. Was he thinking? The current contract comes with. I guess I didn't read it that close.
Yeah.
Yeah, Parsons, because of where he's at.
Yeah.
Honestly, Jalen Carter on a rookie contract.
That's not crazy.
He's playing like crazy. 35-40% of snaps, and he's more impactful than basically 90% of the rest of the defensive rookie class. Yep. Who else is making an impact? Will Anderson isn't. No. I mean, he's had a little bit, but honestly,
is Tyree Wilson even in the league?
No, it's Spoon, obviously, and Brian Branch and Jack Campbell, two on the same team. And I don't know, name me some other rookie defenders you've been impressed with. Forbes, I haven't been. No. Yeah, obviously Wilson. No. Who's the other? Kind of got to give him a pass because he got hurt. But Christian Gonzalez was playing pretty good ball before he got injured. He's done.
Let me see here. Jack Campbell is not getting consideration.
No, but he's been in there. He has a decent amount of tackles. Like he's playing and he's contributing. It's not a good defense, but
Deontay Banks has been fine, but not good enough for consideration. Mazzie Smith
Will
has
McDonald
been a ghost. Miles Murphy has been a ghost.
Done much.
Brian Breesy has been a ghost. He could really, they could really use him to step up because New Orleans, they're out here kicking the tires on Jason Pierre-Paul, for fuck's sake.
Ivan Pace has been.
Joey Porter Jr. has been very good. He would make my all-rookie team with the quality of play we've seen from him.
Young for the Rams. It's always the guys.
Yeah. Young.
That's a good one. Thank you.
Yeah. He's been incredible. Yeah. We just hadn't gotten down that far yet. I don't know how he slid so far.
Well, I mean, some of the guys that are really contributing are quite a ways down there. Like, I know it's not a good defense. Flores is getting a lot of it, but like
I was going to ask you,
Ivan Pace is a useful player. Guy didn't even get drafted.
Yeah,
although I'm not sure he would have started in a lot of other places.
No, that's probably true. But he has been useful. You're right.
Useful.
Yeah, I'm not seeing a lot of other guys that really pop as like this would have been an easy call for starting. Getting a guy on a rookie call. Yeah,
Bryce Young. That's not
good. If Bryce Young costs you DJ more, then you shouldn't do it, I think.
Bears getting the first overall 2 years in a row and trading it back for a haul is live. I like that.
You think that there's anything Fields can do at this point to warrant holding on to the starting job over Caleb Williams? Excuse me.
You know, it's so early in his career, but I love it when teams are willing to just cut bait on it, knowing like this guy's ceiling is nowhere near where we thought it would be, nowhere near where we need it to be if we want to win long term. We have a high pick. We might have 2 very high picks. If there's a quarterback you think is the answer, there's no guaranteeing you'll have a high pick, in years to come. There's no guaranteeing the year that you do end up with a high pick, you end up with a good quarterback class. You could end up, in one of the classes like last year where we're taking, Kenny Pickett deep into the first round there. So I don't know. Like I'm not good at evaluating these young college quarterbacks. I'm perpetually wrong about who I picked to be good. But if their scouting department, their analytics cylinder has a guy they like, probably just get it because
if their analytics cylinder says draft Ohio State quarterbacks, they probably should have. I don't know.
Yeah, they were too
more
early.
Thought to CJ Stroud, I guess. Yeah,
they were a little early on that.
You know what I don't love? Denver wasting a timeout at 10 minutes in the third quarter. I guess you don't want to take 5 yards here because of where you are field position wise, but
yeah, you really want to try to get some points here. But I think you're kind of in a weird 4-down spot. What your opinion on Peyton, and not the one on the Manning cast? Kind of like it's. I thought it's the conversation. I thought it would be the conversation we'd have around Murray.
They're signaling Bill's ball there. I mean, there's been some absurd recoveries along the sidelines this year. This one would be the most ridiculous, though. How did this not get out of bounds?
I watched that Steelers lateral like 40 times this morning as well. Like, so clearly went backwards.
Oh yeah, there was zero doubt there. I think they're going to have a tough time. They're going to have a tough time overturning this with there's no way the guy that picked it up was in bounds, though. I just don't understand. I don't know. What do you think? You seeing this? They didn't show any useful replays.
I've only seen it once. I think they're going to stick with it. Somebody needs to move the fucking ball and score here. I'm getting real sick of this game real quick. Might go home and read a book. Yeah, that's the other thing too. Is that he takes like 2 steps. It's a catch, I think.
No. But the recovery, inbounds.
I don't know. See, the Bronco who reaches for it is clearly in bounds, and that's the arm I looked at in the first play. But yeah, everybody who's half the Bills there were out of bounds, unless it was the guy on the left-hand side. Did you end up playing anything? I looked pretty hard at that Chargers line.
Yeah, I played the Steelers. I took the 4 and I played the money line.
You think they'll outgain an opponent this year?
No, but I do think that the chances that it's PJ Walker are pretty high, in my opinion. And high is in like close to 50-50, not like 90-10 that it's.
I'm surprised you're at 50-50. The way they were talking, it didn't sound too great. So
you think it's going to be PJ Walker? At which point 4 points that's going to evaporate.
Yeah, I was like 65-35 the way it sounded, because I know he's trying to tough it out a little, but it sounded like the injury was pretty pretty bad. Yeah, the Packers and the Steelers are 2 teams I don't really want to bet, but man, probably gonna both.
Those are the two best numbers on the board right now. I agree with you.
Bears, if we have good news, they're still 10s. It's not a good defense. Like if
Giants
Fields is in,
Washington really warrants double-digit favorite status over DeVito.
That's the other one too. Like, how close are I can't bet on DeVito though. Man, they need. It's crazy to say like we need to get. What's your upgrade from DeVito to Tyrod? 5 points.
It's at least at least. It's at least 5.
I was light on the difference. I just can't bet them with that. Hey, man.
They did recover it. Wow. All right. Their ruling on the field was upheld. Ruling on the field stands. So
all right,
I don't know, man.
Let's get Kincaid 2 catches.
I don't know, man. That was a pretty bad call, I thought. But oh well. We're all about bad calls this week, I guess.
Yeah, how about the ref calling the one fumble and just like letting it? I like that they let it go, but that one was clearly not a touchdown. DeVito to Barkley, I said this was only a 1-point difference, and now without even seeing Barkley on a field for like multiple years, Oh, he says Saquon. Matt, not Saquon. I thought it was going to be the other way. Saquon, not Matt.
Just direct snaps to Saquon.
Honestly, Saquon is a half-point upgrade from DeVito. That's not real, but Matt Barkley, I said, is probably a point better, and he's actually played some. Oh man, he was clearly out. That is a bad call.
That was a pretty
Now,
bad call.
why are we seeing these replays like
now?
I
don't know. I don't know.
Because that guy that was out touched it. Oh,
yeah, Rasul Douglas was the guy that came out of the pile with it.
Former Packer. I haven't been keeping an eye on him. Have you caught any of his, like, how he's looked today? Because I know it took a little while for him to get acclimated.
Oh, man. I'm sorry, I'm distracted.
Rasul.
Yeah.
They traded for him.
He's playing pretty well. Definitely better than some of their other replacements, level players who are not. That was a backbreaker, man.
I think we're fine.
Well, for the over, yeah, but
Broncos
realistically, the cover feels very in doubt at the moment.
No, they've got 10 more points in them this quarter. I think the Broncos answer this drive easily. You got fire in their bellies now.
I don't know, man. The Bills, like the crowd, the players, everybody's playing super hard.
Sweat got a bunch of pressures. They don't have guys around him. They have they have that good young DT, but they don't have a good pass rush, so it's hard to tell. Sometimes one stud pass rusher doesn't get as much done because he's the focus, but he got a bunch of pressures. That matters. Like, that's not something they were getting done, and they've been good up against the run. So, like, this defense for the Bears is kind of sneaky good. That's kind of why I'm tempted to bet him, even if it is Bagent, if I'm going to get 10.5.
Montez Sweat had 4 pressures, 3 quarterback knockdowns, 1 hurry. Did not convert any of those into sacks.
The Bears just don't convert sacks for some reason. That's just not something they've. I want to say maybe I'm thinking of someone else, but I feel like it's like when you go pressures compared to sacks, it's been a pretty bad rate as far as closing. Panthers were really bad at that too. Panthers have had, despite having Brian Burns on the field for most of the year, they had like the fewest pressures. That's not a good recipe for success when like your secondary is also beat up.
They're making this very painful, man. Just score for fuck's sake.
Giving it to Latavius.
Somehow Latavius Murray is still very, very employed as an
7
NFL
carries for 59 yards, and you know what? He scored on that play.
Yeah, he did. Easy.
15-15 is scoregami.
Yeah.
Maybe. All right, let's go Broncos after this drive. Broncos need a big answer here. Heisman thoughts. I wish Marv had better numbers, but 2 or 3 touchdowns against Big Blue goes a long way because that's a huge eyeball game. A win that is credited to how good he played that day goes a long way, but man, these Pac-12 defenses are not doing us any favors with Nix and Penix. Jaden Daniels, very good. It's stupid that teams get punished for not being like really, really good, but having like 3 or 4 losses hurts your Heisman, which is dumb.
I will tell you that
he's so good. Daniels. I remember watching him at Arizona State, right? It's the same guy.
Yeah. I have a different take on that, which is I think the betting market is weighing wins or weighing losses more than the voters will.
That's fair.
This is a big ass voting block, and there's a lot of them who are just going to vote for Daniels because of that stat line but is absolutely ridiculous.
Bananas.
Yeah, his stats that he's compiled so far this season are just, I mean, how is that possible?
It's fun to have like a true 4-man race.
Is he QB3 off the board draft wise, Jaden Daniels? Because I thought there was a decent chance he might just like sit out the rest of the season when he got concussed, but instead he came back and had 500 yards of offense and 6 touchdowns or something.
I haven't. I was about to start. I was going to make a mock next week, just because I've never done one this early, and then I realized I have no idea what I'm doing, and I'm going to have to go read all the other mocks and figure out like who people actually think are good. But I think consensus is Caleb Drake pretty quick, but then after that, I feel like there's a pretty big drop down, and people are talking like McCarthy and who's the other guy? I'm trying to pull one up now. Oh, Penix and McCarthy.
Drew's boy, Riley Leonard.
Who's Riley Leonard? Oh, from Duke.
Duke's quarterback.
Duke. Yeah.
I'll say number one should probably be the safety from Minnesota. He's very, very good. Shadur?
He's going
Good
back
player.
to school, he said.
I think so.
He said he was, right? That's what I heard.
Although in
His dad will disown him if he leaves. His dad will rank him last in the kid ranking.
Yeah, wouldn't show up to Thanksgiving. I wonder about there was always the threat of Williams going back to college. I don't know if that's actually like a legitimate thing, if that can actually happen. I mean, I know it can happen. I don't know if he's actually serious about that. If it's like, I don't want to go play there. Can't you just go Elway or Eli on it and just be a bitch about it and be like, trade me?
I would guess.
Getting Hal 9000 vibes from Dan. I haven't watched that show in a long time. It's a longer movie, I think.
It is funny that both Bo Nix and Jalen Daniels were very prominent quarterbacks on other teams and had no success.
So is Penix.
And Penix. He played for Indiana.
Right. You know who hasn't switched teams and is Marvin Harrison.
Marvin Harrison Jr. Loyal.
Well.
Hamlin missed a tackle.
Did he?
Woof.
Let me see it.
Not good. I didn't see it. Someone Holt called me here. Oh man. Point Dobbs. Dobbs would have made that tackle.
Hey, at least Hamlin's out there, man. Do you get credit
in the kick return?
Do you get credit for the special teams tackles in the official statistics?
You do, which is a bit tricky if you're
Let's give him a person for that, because he pushed him outside. He made him go outside.
If you're the kind of person who bets tackle and assist props, you got to be careful which box score you're looking at, because some count those and they don't say like, hey, some of these run special team, whereas the sports book, most books won't credit them with it in the final tackle and assist prop bets. Oh. So you think you won, and then you find out, no, two of those tackles run kick returns. They don't count for shit.
You know what else we need then, besides Marvin Harrison Jr. to beat Michigan State by himself, or Michigan by himself, is we need the beat.
So
we did, yeah, he did. We need the Beavers to come through for us.
Beavers do you have a?
Can
they win the conference?
They can take down Washington and Oregon next 2 weeks. Yeah,
like
the Beavers are good.
Bet that. Is that Brinks?
The Beavers are good. I don't remember.
I have that ticket and I don't remember why.
You have Beavers Pac-10, Pac-12?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Pac-12, Pac-8, Pac whatever number, 2-pack. Well, aren't they one of the only teams that's actually technically still in the conference?
Oh, yeah, that was why. Because there was a chance that the Pac-12 was just going to elect to put those two teams in the Pac-12 championship, and you could, the Pac-2, and then Oregon State. Oregon State would have been a pretty heavy favorite in that game.
Holt is correct, because I'm sure he's talking about the special teams tackles. That is a rule you learn the hard way. It's like those folks that would bet. They thought they were betting defense / special teams to score the first touchdown, and it turns out they were betting at the one book that separates them or only counts defense and not kickoffs. There's a few situations like that where you do learn those things the hard way.
The Beavers have lost this year to Washington State and
Arizona.
Weird.
The Arizona loss was bad. They needed to not do that.
That was a bummer.
They're really good at home and not so good on the road.
Well, then they can get Washington, and then we just need Oregon to then get beat by Washington.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, we just need some messiness.
Okay.
Pac-12. You know what sucks? It's like the Pac-12 is finally. This is the best year of Pac-12 football ever. I know there's been some.
The grand finale.
Yeah, there's been some really good teams. Like obviously, people of our age, we're about 40. Even some of you younger.
Oh my God,
folks,
Russell Wilson! Jesus Christ, dude.
The Reggie Bush year, like that was so fun. Like there's been some very fun teams. If you're super old, like Colorado.
How did
teams
USC do the year Reggie Bush won the Heisman Trophy?
It doesn't matter. It was a fun game.
I think they won the Pac-12 that year, Dan.
Yeah, they won the conference.
Was it 12 then, or was it just 10 still?
It's tough to tell because they vacated all those games because Bush was a cheater. So I'm not sure. Oh, dude, 2 terrible sacks by Wilson.
Not excited about that. Although, let's start adding up points. What if we get the 12-point overtime? So just 42. I started doing that at like 3-0. Like what if
that was bad.
20-20.
Those were 2 terrible sacks. The first one was especially gross. And he's holding on to the ball for an eternity. He is not interested in throwing the ball downfield today. I do not know why.
He's just kind of a bitch. All right, guys. I'm going to go home. I'm calling it.
All right, man.
This is fun. Good questions. Great questions, honestly. Had
Enjoy.
fun.
Best of luck.